Sucking on my titties like you wanted me, calling me all the time.
Welcome to My Top Everything. Kara?
Welcome to My Top Everything, where we are sitting on chairs, sipping beverages.
Yes.
Water.
My beverage of choice today is Polar Seltzer Nectarine Lemon.
Ooh,
Yum.
That sounds good. Yum.
Oh, I think there's like a class action lawsuit out against them because isn't that the brand that like claims to have health benefits?
No, you're thinking of Poppy.
Yeah,
You're thinking of Poppy.
Yeah, I am. Okay, thanks.
No, this is just seltzer water. There's no benefits to it, except that it might have you avoid drinking soda. But no, that's Poppy. You would have to drink 4 Poppies a day for 3 weeks to get any of the benefits that they're claiming, and you would go over your daily sugar value, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah.
okay.
Anyway, I guess
I'm Mara.
I'm going to start each episode. Oh, you're Mara. Okay, this is Mara.
Chaos.
I'm Marion.
I'm Kara.
And this is a disclaimer that I think we should pick back up given recent events, which is we have not fully researched things. We're not experts on anything. Do your own research. Take us with 5,000 grain of salts, whatever we say here, because
we are a comedy
it's for
podcast
fun.
And not...
We're just having... Exactly. We're having fun. You could even call us a parody podcast. I think legally, if we call ourselves a parody podcast, that probably covers a lot of things. And the reason for this disclaimer is because we received a correspondence after our last episode, Top 3 Cults I'd Be Swindled Into Joining. If you haven't listened to it, go listen to part 1. We go through our number 3 and number 2 picks. One of our number 3 picks was from Kara. It was PETA, not PETA from Hunger Games, PETA, the organization. 23 hours after this podcast was published, we received an email from a representative of PETA who wanted to correct us on some points and talk to us. They started off the letter by saying, "Hi, Kara, Mara, and Marion."
Dying.
Like they spelled it capital AMARIAN. I've never heard that name personally. Marion. It really sent me into a crisis. Just that sentence, not the rest of it. The sentence, I was like, am I saying my name weird that people think it's a Marion? You know, I'm like, it's me, a Marion. She spelled Mara correctly. She spelled Kara correctly. And then she went for a Marion. So I must be saying like, I'm a Marion.
No.
Or something.
I don't think you are.
No. Also,
we also have 4 letters. You have more than 4.
And like Kara and I say your name all the time, right?
Do we?
Do you?
A Marion.
I'm gonna start.
Marion.
Good job.
Maybe we've been saying before it.
Marion.
Does that sound right? Does that sound like something you said on the podcast before?
Yeah. Like there's nothing we haven't said on the podcast at this point. Everything goes.
Yeah, I pray no one finds this. But everybody listens.
To this.
You know?
Including PETA. Including PETA.
They are going to listen to literally what we're saying right now. So
well,
hey, do like a hi mom.
Hey, you know who you are. I'm not gonna say their name or reveal their gender by using pronouns.
Kara.
It's an assumed gender.
Yeah.
My second favorite part of this email, the email basically just talks about how wrong Kara is and how her statements, they say that as you discovered in the episode, because luckily I was there to refute Kara's outlandish claims.
Slander.
From a YouTube video. That was my source. I'm just going to put that
Oh
out
my
there.
God.
What was it? A
A YouTube video supplemented with a little bit of internet research. I did not know what to do for that episode. I was digging around.
You're like, let's pick a fight with a huge national organization. They use the royal we. They say, we heard you discuss us in your episode about cults. And as you discovered during your episode, the criticisms that Kara shared about PETA were not based on facts.
And that's why we have a disclaimer, folks.
That's the disclaimer that we haven't used in a while.
Can you go back to that YouTube video you watched and comment on them and say, hey, this is a bunch of lies and PETA themselves told me?
This person does say, most of us at PETA have companion animals. So they don't refer to them as pets. That would have been a good thing for you to point out, Kara, in the last episode, because that is kind of interesting that they call them companion animals and not pets.
Yeah.
I guess I would say I have 2 companion animals and 1 kind of like active menace in my household. Would you say you guys have companion animals, or what are you working with?
Companion animal.
Really, Tonks
also
is a companion animal?
Yeah, listen,
No.
she's fucking obsessed with me.
That's your roommate by force. That's like a
She's trapped there by 4 walls.
that's like a Stockholm syndrome. Stockholm syndrome where she's like convinced you of something.
She's just so lovely to me. Just don't look at my arm right now.
I was going to say, how many scratches you have right now? Also, I'm sure that they call them companion animals because in the non-companion animal world, we call them pets. And then you have to distinguish between a pet and a farm animal. And I bet they call farm animals companion animals. I'm just out here fucking lying again. I don't know.
We're just assuming.
I think, I assume. Did you hear that, PETA?
Kara, you've read this email. What has it changed anything for you on your feelings of PETA? Because this person says you all clearly care about animals. So if you familiarize yourselves with what we actually do and what we stand for, I'm sure you'll find we have a lot of common ground. Now, I assume that after you got this email, Kara, you familiarized yourself.
That I did not.
What are your thoughts now after this not creepy email that we got?
I knew before we recorded the podcast that PETA has good intentions. I am vegan. They probably know that at this point.
This is something you'd be swindled into joining.
That's exactly the point. I think that they have a very good message. I like what they do. A lot of big organizations have their mission statement, their vision statement, their intentions, what they spend money on, all the things. I also think that the word cult is a little bit, it's difficult to nail down. And if people on the internet said that they felt like they were in a cult, that was what I was repeating. So I don't personally think that they are a cult. I'll put that out there. And I don't think that they do bad things necessarily.
Okay.
Where's your backbone? Where's your backbone?
I will say that the representative pointed out that they provide a lot of end of care life for animals, which I really do appreciate because I think that's one of the saddest things is when you go to a shelter or an animal like a chicken is no longer productive in laying eggs. They get euthanized and they don't have the best end of life because they're not productive or useful to us in a consumer society. So I appreciate that PETA does things like that. All around, I think that their messaging is very good. I think once you're inside of an organization, things change a little bit. And I haven't been inside of it, so I can't speak to that.
Great. That was really good. Sitting on the fence. You did great. My thoughts.
I was told before this, I was like, do I have to do anything? And you said, I don't know. We'll see. And then you pointedly asked me a question. You fucker.
I want to hear your thoughts. My thoughts that everyone also wants to hear is that I'm conflicted because they did sway me a little bit on some things. But at the same time, then I looked into some of the history of PETA of like why, like, because they've clearly done something. Like they have a reputation that's not necessarily super positive, that they're clearly working very hard to try and change.
Yeah.
I think the problems that I can see with them is they did have a lot of they love to do shock value messaging.
Yeah.
And I don't know that if I really connect with that or think that I respect that method. It looks like 2014, 2015, something shifted. And I think they've been trying to really change their image since then. But
I'll point out, though, that those things do not make a cult. That's marketing and strategy. So
Yeah.
while it doesn't help their image as a cult, it also doesn't prove they're a cult.
Sure. The last thing I want to say that would feel culty in any organization is when you have a role called media officer. There's something about that that just inherently kind of goes towards police officer for me. Somebody who's like literally scouring the internet to find, I don't know, podcasts with like 30 monthly listeners, things like that. That part to me does feel a little culty. So I want to give you like negative 10 points, Kara, for getting us embroiled with somebody attracting the ire of what could possibly be a very powerful cult nation. But also, they did email us within 24 hours of us posting the episode. And I feel like that's plus 1,000 points to you.
That's too many.
Because there are a few things that are kind of, none of the other potential cults we named did that. So
That's a good point. Damn.
Nobody from that Japanese call emailed me.
Even though you probably would have willingly jumped right in.
Probably because they don't have media officers.
Dude,
Are they even a cult?
Are you even in a cult if you don't have a media officer?
So do you think the business I work for is a cult? Then we for sure have media officers.
No, I think that probably though having a media officer is like one tally, but you need, let's say, 10 tallies to kind of have a cult going, It's like a grading system.
Yeah.
Well, but also there's an image problem with Scientology, who is by all
A cult.
Yes.
Allegedly.
Email us.
Email us, do it.
If we hear from Scientology,
I am chaos.
No, please don't. I don't want this attention again. Yeah, so Scientology also has an image problem. I don't think that they are out there like correcting people.
we'll find out. Gonna put them in the keywords and see. Now we need to get to our number one cults we'd be swindled into joining. And here we go. I hate men. Okay. Anyway.
What's it called? What's the thing we're gonna do in the mountains?
We're gonna become Bacchae. Bacchanalia. Yeah.
Mara, kill them.
I don't, but like, have you seen that TikTok where they're asking women, would you rather be stuck in the woods with a man or a bear? And like almost all of them say bear except for one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
That's
take
fair.
a bear.
I would
If
too.
it was just any man, if you had no choice.
Right?
Grayson says pray for the bear.
Take my chances with the bear, yeah. All right. My number one cult that I would be swindled into joining, because I basically nearly was. And that's
Damn.
why I'm sure. I had to look into this because I was thinking about this topic and I was like, I'm not sure. But back when I was in Norwich, every week, my friend and I, who was also a vegetarian, and I was a vegetarian at the time, we would go to this restaurant in downtown Norwich where you could get like a 5 pound, not American pounds, 5 British pounds of Chinese takeout.
Ew, the British Chinese takeout. It looks awful.
Well, so what was interesting about this place is it was completely vegan. And back then, like 12 years ago, right, there wasn't a lot of fake meat running around that you could get. So it was like very exciting to go to a place and I could get like Chinese broccoli and beef or whatever. And I knew that I could eat it. And this place was called The Loving Hut. When I went there, it had a bunch of pamphlets and like what I vaguely remember to be like a Buddhist woman on the TV. And as I was thinking about this, I've always thought, was that a cult? Like my whole, like the past 12 years, I've always thought, was that a cult? And so when I was doing this, I was like, I need to know if that was a cult. But I couldn't remember the name of the restaurant or anything. So I looked up Norwich Vegan Buddha Restaurant Cult. And it came up.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, yes.
Guys, this is, and I love this cult. Like going into this made me think, am I going to join this cult? So this is a rare cult that was founded by a woman, a Vietnamese, half Chinese woman I believe her name is Ching Hai, and she goes by Supreme Master Ching Hai.
Oh my God, yes.
She started a restaurant empire. They have over 200 loving huts in 35 countries. It turns out there are a couple in California. I will be going to one. Maybe this weekend. There's a couple in San Diego. There's some down south. I will be going, at least in 2017. And as far as I can tell, up until last year, Loving Hut was still open in Norwich. I don't know if it is anymore because the reviews are so few and far between, but everyone was like, I always forget how good this place is and how cheap. So this woman, who was once called the Buddhist Martha by Time magazine,
Damn,
has created a jewelry line, a clothing line, and a pseudo-religious philosophy called the Kuan Yin method, which has as many as 500,000 followers. And so the Kuan Yin method preaches preservation of life above all else. And it has other pillars: not telling lies, not taking that which is not offered, not drinking alcohol or drugs, and avoiding sexual misconduct. So I really like these. It feels very like female oriented. This person was like, let me come up with these rules. She has a thing that was on in Loving Hut that if you type this in, it still comes up, which is Supreme Master TV. It's a channel that you can watch. It runs 24/7. It was always on. And it's basically about how you should become vegan. Why aren't you vegan? Here's why you should be vegan. And all about Buddhism and how the two work together. It has shows called Vegetarianism, The Noble Way of Living, Our Co-Inhabitants, The Animal World, and Words of Wisdom. And apparently in the like nearest one to LA, a guy went to the restaurant and it's got pictures of people like Bill Clinton and then like some other celebrities. And there's a placard next to it that says, "These smart, beautiful, talented people are vegan and vegetarian. Why aren't you?" And I'm totally into it. She wanted to be a Buddhist monk, but basically like women can't be Buddhist monks. So that's when she started all of this. And I just love that she decided the best way to spread my cult is to just make a bunch of restaurants. And since they're all franchises, apparently there's absolutely no rules as long as they, adhere to the 5 pillars, the don't take what's not offered, blah, blah, blah. There's no like thing that keeps them together of like what they offer at these restaurants, except that like it's different Asian cuisines. So like the Loving Hut in Orange County is completely different from the Loving Hut in Norwich.
Dude, hell yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. So next time you visit, we'll go there. Yes. We have to go there. So she's got World Peace Media, Oceans of Love Entertainment, and she's in favor of a meat tax. And I just want to tell you real quick. I know.
I'm into that.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's good shit.
The one thing that I think this is what you have. This is the lifestyle of the Kuan Yin method. So you can do, there are 2 options. The first is full initiation. This is where you have a lifelong commitment to a vegan diet. You adhere to the 5 precepts of Buddhism. I think, Kara, you're already bang, bang. You've already automatically become these 2 almost. And then all you need to add is at least 2 hours of meditation daily. And then
daily 2 hours.
You are part of the full initiation. You're full Kuan Yin.
2 hours all at once or broken up?
2 what do you mean?
Like, do I have to do my full 2 hours of meditation at once?
I don't think so. It says at least 2 hours meditation daily. I feel like you could probably do one in the morning and one in the evening or something. I don't know. I would have to watch the channel more.
You mean you will watch the channel more?
Now, if that sounds like too much for you, she has created the quick initiation.
Hell yeah, brother.
She has created the convenient method.
Okay, that's more my style.
Yes. That only requires a half hour's meditation daily. Okay.
Oh.
Very reasonable. And abstinence from meat for 10 days each month. So you don't even have to do it all the time, baby.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
You just come in here, quickly initiated. We all like qualify as long as we start meditating 30 minutes a day. And she's got a guided meditation on her channel, so you can just watch that.
Amazing.
Oh, I feel like that might be worth trying.
No.
Also, I need you to look at this picture. What were you going to say, Laura?
I was going to say sometimes I dissociate, so that counts, right?
That's meditation. Yeah.
Please click that link.
Supreme. I want to be called supreme leader in a
Oh my
relationship.
God.
Shut up.
Where is she from?
She's Vietnamese.
Oh my God.
She's for everyone who can't see it, if you go to suprememastertv.com and then click the meditation tab, you'll see what we're seeing. It's this like purple sparkly background with bubbles and heart bubbles and flowers, and she's got this bleached wig or extremely bleached hair that looks like a wig on.
It looks like a bad wig.
And she's wearing one of those spa robes, and she's got her eyes closed, and it's beautiful.
I mean, she looks at peace.
She's got also the light is coming out of her head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she's enlightened.
Obviously.
I take it back. It's not a wig. It's bleached hair.
So yeah. And I'll just leave you with this quote from her. I really like her. I really like having like a female-led cult. I think that's pretty rare. And this one, she says, "A master is one who has the key for you to become a master, to help you realize that you are also a master and that you and God are also one. That's all. That's the only role of the master."
See, you lost me with the God.
Yeah.
I will say that I do love that it stems from her not being able to be a Buddhist monk. And then she was like, I'm going to do Buddhism 2.0.
She's like, flip you the bird. I'm still a Buddhist and I'll just make my own. I'll just call myself Supreme Master. What now, Buddhism?
Yeah.
What
And
now?
I don't have to slowly mummify myself in order to become enlightened.
What?
What do you mean, mummify?
Sorry, what?
Because they, like, Buddhist monks, in order to become those living statues, they, like, slowly, there's, like, a whole process to do that. They, like, change their diet and they eat random things for a bit, and then they go into, like, bark, essentially. I don't know. And then they, like, basically are only drinking things, and then they get buried inside this, like, box underground, and they're supposed to like be fully mummified, but like not many people end up successfully doing it. And they know the monk is dead down there because they have like this pipe or something that they send down there with her, and they check on it once a day. And once the monk doesn't respond, then they like fully bury him, and then they like leave his corpse under there for like 7 years, an amount of time, and then they bring it back up, and then they see if it fully mummified, and then they put it in temples.
I thought you were spinning some mad shit
it's
here.
Real.
This is real.
Yeah.
Okay, but there's only one self-mummified that they have, that they verified.
There's only one?
There's at least one self-mummified 550-year-old corpse in existence, that of a Buddhist monk named, forgive me, Sangha Tenzin. From northern Himalaya in India.
Oh, I thought there was more than one.
He was discovered in 1975.
There's articles about
there's
them.
Another one
like,
in
there's
Thailand.
More. Yeah, there's articles about people doing it still. Like people are trying to do it.
They're trying. Are they succeeding? Seems hard. Based on what I'm reading, it seems really difficult to dry yourself out and slowly die.
And sorry, why do they do this?
To reach full enlightenment.
Good God.
But also, like, if they do it successfully, they're kind of prayed to like a god. Like, people come and worship their body because they were able to so, like, embody and show.
It's called Sokushin Butsu. I'm not saying that right, but it's in Japanese. And it means Buddhas in their very body. So they're becoming Buddhas in their body.
This is wild. How have I never heard of this before?
I don't know.
This is crazy. I've never heard
You knew
of
a
it
lot
either.
about that, Mara. Great job.
Because the first time I saw it, I was like, what the fuck?
Wow.
That's pretty metal, I'm going to be honest.
That's what Grayson said. He said they eat nothing but honey until they die. Man, it's metal as fuck.
Yeah, wow, I didn't even see him say that.
And he gave me a +1 because he didn't even know I knew about this.
You're only at -1 now.
Honestly,
-1.25.
I could be swindled into doing this, I think. I could be swindled into mummifying myself at the end of my life.
I don't believe in enlightenment that hard.
You'd have to give up all food.
Who's next? Who's next?
Kara,
I
Bella?
am good. I'm still like shooketh by that. Okay. Following the theme of almost got swindled into this cult, my number one cult that I almost got swindled into is called The Family or The Fellowship. It's got a Netflix docuseries about it. It's 5 episodes. I think it's called The Family. And I'm going to try to be as non-specific as I can. But I worked internationally for a while. One of the organizations that I was working with believes in
Which country?
the teachings. Nope.
Oh.
Believes in it. I'm trying really hard. So I'm going to try to like do this in the best way possible.
Yes, I think you're doing a great job so far because you've had many jobs abroad.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
And this organization believes in the teachings of Jesus and spreading the actual message of Jesus, and genuinely was doing great work to make sure that people had what they needed and supporting people and not judging people, bringing different religions together, etc. And it very much was it was a very important part of my life. I learned a lot about multiple different Abrahamic religions and became much more open about those things. And so I was really like, I was very invested in this organization. And by the end, I was like, wow, this is great work. Like a couple of weeks before I leave, somebody casually mentions The Family, and I had never heard of it. And so somebody was like, oh yeah, like X person in the organization like lived at their headquarters. And I was like, what are we talking about here? Turns out The Family or The Fellowship is this organization. It's based in Alexandria or DC or something like that, but they are very prominent internationally. And their whole shtick is that they're trying, so they believe in Jesus, but we watched a video right before this, and they were like, yeah, we believe that Jesus came for the sheep or whatever, but what about the wolves? We're interested in the wolves. And so they are interested in power and getting power through the message of Jesus. They're the ones that fund the National Prayer Breakfast, which every president since Nixon, I think, has gone to since, like the 60s or whatever. They believe that Trump is like this avenue through which God is letting them speak. This is post me working with them, for them, whatever. And it's a very, very powerful organization. And they funded this organization that I worked with. And they are like at all these meetings with presidents and with other international leaders, and everybody like talks to them and all these things, and they're very behind the scenes until recently. And they not indoctrinate, but young men live in this one house to learn all the ways of this organization, and then they go out and they lobby on behalf of the fellowship and try to get power through secret avenues and things like this. And they're very prominent internationally as well. They were more prominent internationally, and now they're becoming like more powerful in the US again. But anyway, I feel that I probably would have never been actually in the cult, but I definitely was like adjacent and was team their message, kind of like layer 1 or phase 1 or whatever we've been talking about.
Wow.
I would recommend watching the Netflix series. It's pretty crazy. Like you would think that if somebody wrote a novel about it, like you would think it's fiction.
Yeah, one of the first questions that comes up on Google is this a real documentary?
Yeah.
So you found out like right before you were leaving?
Yeah.
Dude.
And I went to a national prayer breakfast in the country that I was living in. Yeah.
Wow.
Like I went to one of their organization's retreat things. I can't believe that it's real is truly how I feel about it.
Did you, when you were watching the documentary, were you like, wow, I was a part of that?
Yeah, it's crazy because the guy that I worked with was so kind. Like he was one of the nicest people ever. He's super down to earth, like not pressuring anybody to do anything, but he lived in the house where they like young men, all the young men in the organization like start off when they're 18.
Are there any people, I assume not, but are there any people in the documentary that while you were working for said organization that like you knew of or you had heard about?
No. It was, yeah, super removed. Like basically the connection was they funded or partially funded that organization. That's the only, and then the National Prayer Breakfast.
You guys have some crazy stories.
Yeah, Mara,
let's
let's
hear
hear
your
about
number one,
the
Mara.
number one cult that you were kind of in.
Yeah.
Like us, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, kind of. Just gonna give myself a -1 off the bat. Because I like hated all of the cults I was looking at. I basically wrote a description of my own cult.
Okay, let's hear it.
The head of this cult is a group of librarians.
Mhm.
We're starting off strong.
We all live in a library.
This seems like a different, because we do have, you're going to get to continue, but we do have a topic, which is cults I would make.
Oh,
And it feels like this is bleeding
Fuck.
into that. But go for it. You're just
Oh!
going to, when we do that, you're going to have to do 3 new ones.
3 new ones.
I know. It's your own material.
Fuck. Okay. My number one, -1. Okay. So the cult is run by a bunch of librarians, little head librarians, and they put up, we all live in a library together. And like really huge library. Also, I'm about to basically describe upper education school.
Talking about university?
Yeah, college. Yep. But we all, like the library and us, we're all in the same building. And it's really old architecture.
This is just a school. Libraries, schools have libraries.
Wait. No, this next part is really going to change your mind. And every morning starts out with a little like TED talk or a lecture about a topic. And
Also school.
But we have like a communal garden.
As some colleges and universities do.
Yep.
What is the point of the librarians?
Oh,
I feel like we just skipped over that.
I just want to read all day.
Damn it, Laura.
Sorry. So we take over a library, but we build this, and then because I said like maybe like the Library of Congress, but then we like move the Library of Congress to like Appalachia.
Just put it on wheels.
Yeah.
I mean, can we just recreate the Library of Alexandria while we're at it? Like,
yeah, sounds great. Wonderful. Even. So basically, this is, I feel like I should have said a school that is very culty, one of those stupid little Ivy League ones that people can't get over.
Yeah.
Like Yale.
Yeah,
Tom.
sounds like you're talking about Yale or Harvard.
Yeah.
Like just going there. Like you could have been swindled into going there if they had accepted you.
And I could be swindled into the tude that comes with going to a place like that because it sounds nice.
Yeah.
But like the librarians run the shit, not the...
I would say actually what this is closest to is you kind of described a group that is in a Netflix TV show called Hilda. And in Hilda, there is a group of librarian witches. You forgot the witches part, but I think you'd like that even more. Yeah, all the librarians. So she's been encountering these librarians and they all seem normal. And then like in season 3, it turns out that the librarians are witches. Like all librarians are witches. And it's a very fun, also kind of like crazy cult where these 3 librarians judge them. And like if you're a librarian, you're responsible for books that like haven't been turned in hundreds of years, and you can go to the void of like nothing if you don't turn it in by the due date, and it's very high stakes. So I think you would really like that cult.
I might have to watch that show.
Yeah, it's a very good bedtime show. I recommend it to everyone. I think it's very cute.
Why have I watched it? Did we watch it in Tahoe?
I think Lucas showed it to you guys in Tahoe. I wasn't there for that part, but I think Lucas did show an episode or 2 of it back then. But yeah, Matt and I watch it, and then we fall asleep to it, and we had to watch the same episode over and over again. Basically, so both of us have seen all of it, and then we can move on.
I'm assuming that the ones that do exist are kind of up to some sort of illicit activity that they don't want the general population to know about. This is me being a conspiracy theorist.
You're talking about the librarians right now?
No, I'm talking about
Yale
like
and Harvard.
Yeah. Like
okay.
Like
you're talking about,
tuition.
I feel like you're trying to talk about a secret society in Yale or Harvard, which they have, like these secret societies that the college boys join,
like
and
Rory.
then they jump off the yacht or whatever, and somebody dies. And
but like the foundation is learning.
You're dragging it down every
It's
time.
good. You know, I'm giving you a negative half point for taking away my agency of giving you a negative point. I won't, you know,
Damn
like
it.
you gave yourself a -1 right at the beginning. Now I can't even say -1. You just took it
Yeah.
I
away.
don't agree with that.
What do you mean? She already
give
did
her
it.
-1. So do it again.
No. She gave herself the
no take
-1.
backsies.
She already did it. I can't give her a -1 point for something that's already been taken away.
Sucker.
You know? And that makes me angry. That's why you're getting a -5.
-5. I thought you said 0.5.
Oh, sorry, -0.5. -0.5.
I was like, yeah, get her.
Also,
are
I
gonna be in a
wrote all of this
deficit.
out, and then after my little paragraph, I just wrote, I am just describing a school, period.
You're like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I just
That's
want to go
amazing.
back to college.
I think so.
Get
Yeah.
a PhD. That's a lot of what they do. For what purpose? I don't
So
know.
expensive.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
we did a bad job at trying to keep this right and tight.
Yeah,
but
I will. Can
we'll
I
get
do
them
an
next
honorable
time.
mention?
Yes.
I tried to look up themes. Like I started this by being like animal rights cult,
Mhm.
environmental cult,
Same.
and everyone. There's a lot of people on the internet that believe that just the environmental movement is a cult. Like there's a very strong internet presence just for that concept of being like,
Wow.
Oh my God.
climate change isn't real, and like it's. I can't even.
God.
I was shocked at how often it came up. Actually,
What's the honorable mention?
that there are people that believe that the environmental movement is a cult. That's all I wanted to say, and I'm using the honorable mention format, I guess, to do that.
Alrighty.
Researching this really triggered my
Say it.
religious upbringing.
Say it. Say it. Do it. Do it.
No.
I think growing up the way that, like, in the religion that we did, and have we said it yet on the podcast?
It's a secret.
It's
a secret.
I think growing up Unitarian Universalist, we were taught to question everything, and so this idea that a cult is a person, like, it really fucked with me. I was like, I don't think I could ever do it.
I think
It
I
really,
could do
like-
it for the Supreme Master Qinghai, though. I like
For
her.
them young little librarians.
But it's not like worship me. It's like be a good person, eat correctly, and meditate.
And don't
It's like
sexually
you're not
assault
worshiping
people.
her.
I think that she's brilliant. She's created a cult where if you want to go hard, there's the go hard option. And then she's like, if you're just like kind of feeling it out, don't want to commit, there's a convenient option. I love that.
It's the hard 75 versus a soft 75.
I know. Yeah,
Man,
exactly.
I'm just like batting zeros.
No, I know TikTok.
Okay,
The TikTok
Thank
hard-
you.
75
Sorry.
hard, 75
Yeah.
soft.
I thought I didn't get both of you.
Kara's just
again.
not on that side of TikTok.
I removed TikTok and I haven't watched it in like a week. I removed it after I was in Chicago for like 2 days. I didn't make it very long. Re-downloaded it, and I've been so tired that I haven't watched it in like a week.
Welcome to the cycle.
Yeah.
It's great. What is 75 high, low, whatever you said?
It's like a diet thing
it
where
was
you work
happening before
out.
this week. It's not a new trend. It's been around for months. I just want to
Yeah.
put that out there.
Oh, honorable mention number 2. A lot of people believe that Soul Cycle is a cult.
Yeah. As they
Soul-
should.
Oh, like
There's so many like exercise movements that kind of cross into cult territory. Orange Theory. In Orange Theory, you get charged if you don't show up to a class that you reserved.
Yeah. Same with alchemy.
I love that it's called alchemy, though. I'm not going to lie. I'm into that.
Okay. So
Okay, bye.
Okay.
well, we have to name the winner.
I will just self-name myself as the winner, just like every other cult leader.
Oh, good point. You know what? You're starting to make sense.
Yeah, most cult leaders are losers, and they need to. Yikes! This took a dark turn right away.
-1.
Oh, hell. She's going to convince us that the more negatives you have, the better it is. Oh,
Yeah.
Our cult leader, Mara. Yes.
Mara.
The supreme topper.
Yes. Shut up. I wanted to make a pegging joke at work today, but somebody ruined it and like took it as death, and I was like, whatever, man.
Your work is a wild place, dude.
Yeah.
Yes, our supreme topper, winner of this, brainwashed us, winner of this episode. It's Mara, y'all. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Mara.
Slide into my DMs to learn more about how you could be top. No, I'm going to sign off if you keep doing that.
I guess we have to follow. Okay.
Yes.
Lead us out.
Okay.
Well, are you going to say the name of the podcast?
Yeah.
Thanks for
You didn't even
listening.
get it.
Right.
Follow us.
I am going to hand my torch to Marion. I'm done.
Because I'm second in
being the
command? Am I? Am I second in command?
Yes. Thank you. Take it away, Marion.
Hi, I'm Marion. I'm assistant to the Supreme Leader. I'm really happy to be here. This has been my top everything. Thanks for being a part of our cult. Keep listening. If you want to go further down, there's a convenient method. That's just following us on Instagram, my top everything, or you can go full initiation. Email us at mytopeverythingpodcast@gmail.com or Venmo me. I mean, that's the real full initiation. Let's get the money flowing. Let's monetize this cult, Mara. Okay? Post your little cult things. Tell us what symbol we should have as our cult. Thanks for listening. We'll see you later. Why don't you give us some kind of Zen? Let's get a Zen vibe going here for our cult. Mara, start us off.
There's a song called Zen, and I'm just trying to... Can we play songs without it being a copyright infringement?
No.
Okay.
You can do it with your mouth.
I
Title.
can't.
Title.
Supreme Topper. Okay.
You make so many noises, you just
I
gotta make a
know.
noise.
Okay. All right, Zen.
Can you hear me? If you can hear this, please join our cult. Become a supreme bottom for your supreme topper and be a part of the cult.
Okay.
That's good.
That was actually really good.
Felt good about that.
I like that Mara was like, oh, right, calm.
Yeah, nice guys. We kept it tight.
My anxiety noises.
I wish it weren't 2 hours long, but that.
Dude, I knew this one would be a real struggle. This is so
I feel like this is a part 1, part 2 situation.